Let's go next to our caller from the 631 area code. Who's calling today from 631?
Hi, David. Is this me?
Yes, it is.
Hi. This is Spinny Chair from Long Island, and
Thanks, Vinny, before you go on, if you can put the phone a little further from your mouth because you're absolutely maxing out our system and it becomes hard to hear, just keep the phone a little further away from your mouth, please.
all right, I'm going to try it from here.
Oh,
So
that's beautiful. I love it.
the other day, you had a video about social democracy and populism that I found very interesting, but I thought there was more to flesh out because you yourself, you do have an anti-establishment criticism. You will criticize what you call the democratic establishment, and I think that to an extent is populism. So I don't know if you can kind of square that circle because you do engage in some populist arguments, but you do manage not to, I guess, fall off the deep end with it.
I mean, I guess I don't. There's really no conflict between. So the analysis was basically an analysis of it's harder to pervert and bamboozle with social democracy than with populism. That was my assertion, essentially. And as I said in the video, that doesn't mean left populist ideas are wrong. So the way that I square it is I believe in socially democratic policy, and certainly there are good left populist ideas, and I have some of those ideas. But the analysis was that it's very easy to pervert populism, and you end up with right populism, and it can even go into authoritarianism. That was the analysis. So maybe I'm not understanding the question, but I don't know that there's anything to square.
Oh, so in other words, you wouldn't say that you have a somewhat populist analysis, but that you don't go off the edge with it, like maybe a moderate populism. You would just say that you're just a social democrat.
Listen, we're getting into sort of like labeling everything. I guess my general political views, economic views, are of social democracy. There is certainly overlap in terms of many of the goals with left populism, but the story was not so much about my views per se, but about the ways in which populist rhetoric has been perverted in many cases and ends up being something very different than what's promised.
Okay, well, maybe if I could phrase it in a different way. I just lost my train of thought. I'll head out now. Have a good day,
Okay.
David.
All right. Very good. Appreciate the phone call. Great to hear from you. Yeah. People. So we have dramatically improved our phone system over the last 2 weeks where we have a very small delay, as people can probably tell. The only downside is I have less of an ability when that crunching sound happens. It's in the system. It's not on my end. So people need to talk a little quieter and maybe keep the phone a little further away. Both very, very important elements of making a good phone call right now.